Go ahead. Guess when I am not having a cat in my lap. Okay, got to thinking about this and someone has said something and I just kind of ignored it till now, I guess. Excuse me. The sorry, Nibbles is in a loving mood. Um Someone asked me about basically the role that I played in all this toxic behavior that goes on that went on in our relationship. Thank you, Nibbles. Now you know why he's named Nibbles. He has a fascination with biting your nose. All right, so yes, I had a hand in it, absolutely, without question, and I should have done better, and I didn't. Um, and I'm actually trying to remember when the first physical violence started, and if it happened before Scripture, I'm not aware of it. And I'm not saying it didn't happen. What I'm saying is just don't remember it. So it wasn't. I just don't think it happened either. Around. All right. Within a month of us getting married, uh, the derogatory stuff started. It wasn't 2 weeks of us starting to live together, whatever. She started getting mad on weekends if I played Dungeons and Dragons with friends instead of being in that bed when she was ready for me to be there. Um, of course, when you're a new couple, I guess you could write that off to, oh, she really enjoys me being in bed with her, that kind of thing, right? Okay. So, God, I'm trying to remember the timeline, exactly when it happened. When we lived in Kingswood Mobile Home Park in Lake Dallas, it's the first time she had an affair on me, and that was with Joel Davis for the concert tickets. And I remember then I destroyed every one of her fucking records, and it was better to me to destroy her records than her because she hurt me so bad. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I was young and dumb, and I really wanted to hurt her bad and didn't do it. That's the way I was raised. Uh, and that's when the sexual manipulation started. That's when she would tell me, just hurry up and get it over with, and I'll just take a shower and get what I need, or take a bath or whatever. And um, just get it over with. You know, I'd be like, well, what do you want me to do? I mean, what would you like? You don't know? I mean, no, that's what the fuck I'm asking you. So that started then there in like Dallas, it's the Kingsford Mobile Home Park, and that was, if I remember that was about a year into the marriage is where that started. It may be 2 years, and that never quit. I mean, right here on this bed, 6 months ago it was happening. Um, I was doing something. I don't remember what we were having sex, and I was doing something, and she's like, "Stop." So I stopped a minute, and she goes, "Okay." I was like, "What?" And she goes, "Well, I don't want to have a heart attack." She didn't want to have a heart attack from having sex. She's got this, you know, yeah. That's just, yeah, just how it is. All right, so back to Scripture Street, and yeah, I could have done better. I should have done better. I didn't do better. Whatever. I remember the first time that I hit her. I remember that with clarity. We had been drinking, we'd been watching a movie, whatever. Sorry, this cat's always tearing things up. We'd been watching a movie, whatever, arguing about something. I mean, it seems like our whole fucking life turned into a goddamn 24-hour day argument by the time we reached Scripture Street. And it just, well, either way around. And I got up to go pee, and she was blocking me in the hallway. And I kept trying to go around her, and I kept trying to go around her, and I was finally like, I've got to pee. And I just pushed her because, if you've been drinking, especially. And when I did, she slapped me. And I've taken martial arts for years, and it's martial arts they teach you body, trigger memory. I've heard it called a million things, reactive memory, whatever. It's at the moment you're hit, you hit right back. It's just natural. You follow through with it. And I did. Yeah, and it was just about 3/4 of the way there, halfway there, and I was like, oh shit. But I mean, it's already too late. I mean, I had so much momentum on it wasn't going to stop. So either round, I hit her and hit her hard. I remember it knocking her down, and I stood there for a second. And I was like, and I was so ashamed of myself. I was pissed off, everything else, on top of being pissed off. And so I just went and used the bathroom. I don't remember the rest of how that night went. I do know that she went to my mother and started singing songs of, and see what your son did to me, because I beat her or whatever, she told her. And my mom finally wormed it out of her that she hit me first. And I did feel ashamed, and I apologized and everything else. Well, that just gave her ammo. You know how narcissists will um, look for ways to abuse you on your weaknesses, things you fear and things like that. That was one of my weaknesses. I shouldn't have hit her. I know I shouldn't have hit her. I mean, argumentatively, she hit me first, but still. So she did it again, and did it again, and did it again. And our fights got more and more violent. They really did. And I mean, you get me, take a guy, especially, you sexually manipulate him the way she was doing me, verbally abuse him the way she was doing me, and then start a fight with him, and by God, that anger's going to flow. She wondered about why, on this porch out here, why are you doing this to me? She's screaming at me, and I'm sitting here thinking, you cut me off from all emotional support for 6 months. Our sex lives have been shit for the last 5 fucking years, and then you cut me off from sex totally for 6 months. I wonder why I'm a mean motherfucker. Because that's what happens to guys if you're right there all the time and they're not, wanting to give them any relief, And trust me, masturbation with you being right there doesn't cut it. So that's what happened on that. So either way, I know that when we moved to Boyd, the physical stuff stopped because we were no longer forced to be in the same house together. I could just tell her, get the fuck out, and kick her out of the fucking house. So the physical stuff stopped. That was our relief valve. And that's why, in a way, having separate houses worked, because it stopped the physical violence. It did not start to, and the only thing she did, of course, then was went to more emotional violence and emotional violence. It's really what it is. Emotional abuse, emotional violence, and sexual violence. Sexual abuse. I mean, because it's abuse to say, the things she said to me. It is. I don't care how you get around it. And she said right there in that text message, I've got it up there on the side. I'll probably post it on the comments for this video. That for her, it was fully justified for her to cut me off from sex. She only had sex with me for a place to live, so that I'd keep playing for her place to live until she could find her new nest. Well, she found her new nest, Well, apparently that ain't, from what I'm hearing, that ain't turning out like she thought it was going to. So, I'm sure she's trying to search for someone to latch on to now. This is a rumor mill that, well, I ain't going to get into that. Doesn't matter. But either way, so, I did have a hand in it. I'm not going to tell you I didn't. I wish things were better, but that's where we're at. And I can't take any of it back. And I can try to justify a lot of it. And when I say justify a lot of it, is self-reflection. True self-reflection and is something a narcissist doesn't have. I sit here and look at it and, I'm thinking now, man, I wish I hadn't done that. But in the situation I was in at the time, but, I did it. Yeah. So I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but hindsight, it's wrong. I'll say that. I wish I could have dealt with that situation better. But either way, so that's truth, actual truth, not blowing smoke up anybody's keister. And, just to make sure everyone knows, I'm not claiming I'm completely innocent in this. Can't do it. Not going to do it. But of course, Tara will tell you she's completely innocent. Boy, she didn't deserve none of this, and blah blah blah, because that's what a narcissist does. So it is what it is.